Hello everybody and welcome back to another Games for Dad's Top 10 video. Today we are going to be counting down a cool album. This is Life on Lands and our top 10 Life on Land cards. As always, I'm sure everybody's got slightly different ideas, but this is my list and this is my top 10. So let's get started. At number 10, we've got the Praying Mantis, just a limited legendary card, or just, he is a limited legendary card. 5 for 49 on the draw. If you're losing the round, two opponents' random cards in hand lock this round. Absolutely awesome card, really useful. The only downside on that is you do need to be losing the round and you need to try and get him in the right rotation, because there's no point him coming out the first turn off a round. So that's number 10 in my Life on Lands cards. That's the Praying Mantis. Do like that card, and I do use him quite a lot, especially in some of my evil decks. The Praying Mantis, awesome picture as well. I love that picture. Okay, that's number 10. At number 9, we have Lithops. On the play, if you're winning the round, your opponent's cards in hand lose -15 this turn. And if you are losing the round, your opponent's cards in hand lose -25 this turn. Pretty good. I like that card. Really useful. Does a little bit of damage, like I said. Good for those evil decks again. Another limited legendary card, so fairly difficult to get. And that is Lithops, making our chart at number 9. There's quite a few good Life on Land cards, so it was quite a difficult chart to put together. But I think most people will agree with probably most of these cards. Anyhow, number 8, we've got Yeti, a great card, especially if you're building a boxing deck. 7 for 69, another limited legendary card. On the play, your opponent loses -5 permanently, and your cards in hand with 7 or more base energy gain +20 until play. That's why it's pretty useful if you are building a good boxing deck. That's the Yeti. Love that picture as well of the Yeti. 7 for 69. Pretty powerful card, that one. Do like it. So he makes our chart at number 8. And at number 7, here we go. What a contentious card. I love this card. A lot of people hate it. Indigo Milk Cup. Really difficult to get still. It's an epic limited. On the draw, you gain 25 until this card is returned to your deck. And on the return, if it's on or before round 2, turn 2, a random card in both players' hand locks permanently. If it's after round 2, turn 2, a random card in both players' hands lock this round. So really useful if you are playing an overlock deck or you just really want to annoy your opponent. Really evil card, that one. Indigo Milk Cap. I always think that looks like a hat, but it is a mushroom, or a mushroom, toadstool, whatever you call them. 5 for 40, so not too expensive to play, but super useful card if you use it properly. Okay, number 6. A lot of people don't know about this card or don't use it very often. I love it. 5 for 55, a limited legendary. It is Roses. On the return, if you played this between two cards, increase their energy cost by +2 permanently and give this card +75 power permanently. So once that's been round a couple of times, that is an absolutely amazing, powerful card. And if energy is pretty high the week, then Roses is really a good option to put in your decks. Absolutely fantastic card. And again, if you use that properly, it becomes a super powerful card. Roses at number 6. So moving on to number 5 in our Life on Lands cards. Let's have a look. We're getting into some of the really good cards now. I think number 5, some people might have had this one a little bit higher, but for me, it's number 5. It goes to Dwarf Hotot, or Hothoot, however you say it. On the play, if played between two Life on Land cards, your Life on Land cards in hand gain +24 until play. So if you're playing a Life on Land deck or a deck with loads of Life on Land cards, this is an absolutely no-brainer. Another limited legendary, 6 for 43. Haven't seen this one much in the trading market. I don't know if it's difficult to get or not, but definitely worth adding to your collection if you can get it. Okay, here we go. Some of the big cards now. Number 4, everybody's favourite, Bigger. On the play, your opponent's card in hand lose -7 power permanently, and this card gains +35 permanently. 5 for 25, so quite expensive to play at 5 for 25 points, but he's going to do some damage and build up nicely. That's Pika, another limited legendary card at number 4 in our Life on Land charts. Moving on then to number 3, one of my favourite cards in the whole game, I would say, actually. Number 3 goes to Dun, dun, dun. General Sherman, a great, tremendous tree card. This one, 7 for 90, another limited legendary card. I think they've all been legendary so far. No, we've had one epic. On the play, your opponent's cards, wherever they are, with 50 or more base power, lose minus 30 this round. So if you can get them out on the first turn of a round, you are going to do maximum damage to your opponent's cards. And like I said, on a big power week, big energy week, General Sherman, absolutely amazing card. 7 for 90, so he's pretty powerful as well. And if you've got a few life on land buffs in there, if you're pairing up with Douglas Furs, that's always a good move, then he does become an amazing card. So he makes number 3 in our life on lands cards. Interesting picture, that one. I like it. Looks massive. Number 2, Yellow Jacket, another amazing card. This is one of my hold cards. I love to hold this one. On the start, your opponent's cards in hand lose minus 5 until played, and on the play, your opponent's cards in hand lose minus 24 this turn. So super useful. 5 for 43, so not too expensive to play. And he's an amazing card. Fits in pretty much any deck as well, which is a good thing about Yellow Jacket. Okay, before we look at number 1, let's have a look at a few honourable mentions. There's quite a few of these. Lich, great card, 6 for 67. If you're trailing by 50 or more, gain plus 10 permanently. On the draw, on the play, if you've lost at least one round this game, gain plus 10 permanently. And on the return, if you lost this turn, gain another 10 power permanently. So really cool if you are building a ramp deck. He works really well. Worth putting in a ramp deck. So that's Lich. Another honourable mention goes to another cool card. Actually, just missed out on the top 10. I think a few people might have got this card in the top 10. It's Kultar, 1 for 0, so perfect for tiny decks. On the return, this card gains plus 60 and costs plus 1 permanently. So once he's been around a couple of times, super powerful card. Works really well in tiny decks. Another honourable mention goes to Arabian Horse. Not my favourite card, 9 for 80. But a lot of people use him in boxing decks. On the play, if you're winning the round, this card gains 100 power this round. So pretty useful. Like I said, not my favourite card, but it's definitely worth an honourable mention. Another honourable mention in the Life on Lands category goes to Hippocampus. Another great card. On the play, your Life on Land and Oceans and Sea cards in hand gain plus 32 this turn. So really useful. 3 for 0. So basically you're going to get 96 when you play Hippocampus for 3. So that's why he's definitely worth playing. Spinks, I've only put him in really because the Egyptian decks at the moment are so strong. He's pretty much a no-brainer if you are playing an ancient Egyptian deck. On the play, for every ancient Egyptian and or Egyptian mythology card in your deck, this card gains plus 7. And return, if you won the turn, keep the power permanently. So the important thing there, if you are playing Egyptians, is to try and win. And normally you get about 90 to 100 points each time you play a Spinks. So definitely worth an honourable mention. Cool picture, that one. I like that one. Another honourable mention goes to another super cool card, the Common Spotted Couscous. 1 for 6, another tiny card on the start. So it's another hold card. You gain plus 4 power permanently, and on the play you lose minus 26 permanently. So the key here is to hold him and really only play him once, maybe right at the end of the game when you need some massive points. That's the Common Spotted Couscous. I've used him quite a lot when I'm trying to get 1,000 points on a turn on Life on Lands. He's really good in casual games as well. So great card, definitely worth an honourable mention. As is the European Hamster, another tiny card. On the play, the card opposite this loses minus 22 this turn, and your cards adjacent to this gain plus 11 this turn. And he's only 1 for 8, and he's only a rare limited. Great card, the cute little European Hamster. And then we can't not give an honourable mention to Cockatrice, another evil card. On the return, opponent's random card in hand locks for 3 turns. 2 for 27, so you can fit him in a tiny deck if you want. But for evil decks, he is great. Anyhow, those are the honourable mentions. I think that's all of them. Yep. Okay, let's move on to number 1. Life on Land cards goes to the World Turtle. Still, in my opinion, the best Life on Land card. Don't forget, we don't include mythics in this collection or in these top 10s. But on the play, if your deck is exactly 4 Arts and Cultures cards, your Arts and Cultures cards, wherever they are, gain plus 14 until played. And then you repeat that for each album. So absolutely amazing card. If you are playing a 4-4-4 deck, then every single one of your cards is going to get that plus 14. And the reason he's number 1 this is probably the only Life on Land card where you can really build an entire deck around the card that you've got. So there we go, that is my top 10. I'm sure everybody's got slightly different ideas. Do please leave us a like, do subscribe if you haven't, it really helps us out at the moment. And do leave us a comment below and let me know if you've got any ideas or anything that you think should be in our top 10. Anyhow, thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed the video, and we will be back very soon. Take care everybody, bye.